shadows play, where the Reaper horde steps in the fray. Kang's the name, I run this game. Laughs and truth, they're one and the same. Red pills will flow like rivers tonight. Comedy cut sharp while we ignite. Games and beats, the room will shake. You came for the truth, now stay wide awake.
Welcome everybody to the Red Pill Fight Club. Thank you for coming in today. What do we got on the menu? What do we got on the menu today? On the menu, we got the Ukraine and NATO starting World War III. Better get your bunkers and your boosters, and you better hook yourself up with that thyroid medicine, everybody. Lindsey Graham exposed violating the Logan Act with his lavish expenses in Ukraine. CIA director, a former, maybe he's still, I'm not sure. John Ratcliffe exposes Adam Schiff's plot against President Trump. You remember the Bolton name you couldn't say. Glad you like the banger song. I appreciate that, AP. On a Muslim man screaming, free Palestine, Molotovs, cocktails, some peaceful Jews who were just demonstrating for the, of course, October 7th prisoners, the hostages. And Sesame Street is grooming your kids to support Pride Month, BLM, and more right here on the Red Pill Fight Club.
The mic in my hand, truth is our weapon. We make a stand. Leave your mask, bring your soul. This is the place where you lose control.
Yeah, thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for raiding over from AP Unfiltered, my brother Aaron, from another mother. We both got the same first name, by the way. I'm Aaron as well. So we're the two-headed Aaron, essentially coming at you. You get 2 scoops of Aaron coming at you. So you people call me Kang. That's my, it's my performing name. But yeah, we are the two Aarons. But good to see everybody. Dean in the chat, We Are the Show. If you guys are not following AP Unfiltered, you are not doing the internet right. And if you are not following the best newsman, he does the long play newsman show. That's Dean of We Are the Show. You'll see me hanging out there as often as I can be. He does a Thursday and a Sunday show. Make sure you're getting over there and listening. He's got great takes on what we look at in the world. And he's easy on the eyes and the ears. Remember I said, a lot of stuff's got to come down to presentation. Like if you present some, vegetables to certain kids, it's got to be covered in cheese. He's definitely giving you the delicious buttery cheese sauce on these hard to swallow nuggets. So what do we got playing over here? Oh, wow. What do we got? NATO. As I said, in the premiere, in the premiere promo, it says here, NATO is openly trying to start nuclear war with Russia. Remember, whatever you think Ukraine, think NATO, because NATO is backing Ukraine. They see this as America. Trust me, Russia sees it as NATO and America doing this. We are in danger, Will Robinson. We need to start paying attention. So what's going on here? Alex Jones posts. NATO openly trying to start nuclear war with Russia. Moscow under attack right now. The night before the peace talks. This is happening the night before the peace talks. And you're telling me that they really, truly want peace and resolution? No, they want escalation. The night before the peace talks are supposed to kick off, why are they doing this? You got to ask yourself that question. Why is that happening? Because they don't want peace. So Alexander Jones, Esquire the Third, who's 85% correct, has put out a very, very simple statement. He's trying to bring people to the table, trying to get them to pay attention. That, yeah, we are in a lot of danger right now. I got lots of clips here. Here we got the Logan Act. This is the Lindsey Graham amnesty section of the show here. It says, while all this is going on and these attacks and shit are happening down, Lindsey Graham amnesty is actually showing up over in Ukraine and violating the Logan Act because it prohibits unauthorized negotiations with a foreign government. And Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal, maybe he's related to Sidney Blumenthal, I don't know, are in clear violation of this. Here they are over there. People there are now posting here. This is from Chicago One Ray saying, "Hey FBI, pay attention. You should arrest both of them the minute they set foot on American soil."
Good to see you. Welcome.
They do this, and then the next day, you get these Moscow attacks. They do this, and then the next day, you see the nuclear bombers getting blown up. They do this. They're over there cutting their little side deals with lavish hotel stays. Probably some special, let's say, room service of the Adam Schiff kind, you know? So they do this, and we're not supposed to pay attention.
Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having me.
There's always a war hawk behind this. Always pay attention to who's actually benefiting and who's got the most amount of money coming from this. And you see people like Lindsey Graham making a lot of fucking backdoor deals here. Backdoor! Ha! Double entendre. Double entendre indeed, because he definitely likes backdoor play. Yeah, we definitely need to have these two men arrested when they land, because all they're doing is stoking the fires, and now we're seeing we're inching closer and closer to nuclear war. Over here from Aladdin, I didn't know Aladdin was on X, but apparently it is. It says here, shocking exclusive. Senator Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal, their lavish Kiev hotel bills are exposed. While Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal strut through Kiev, Ukraine, jaw-dropping State Department records have dropped on USA spending, revealing their extravagant hotel expenses on June 1st, 2025. Two staggering transactions surfaced, one for a mind-blowing $403,000 and another one for $411,000. What hotel stay requires that? What expense could they possibly be? Are they buying a fleet of airplanes? It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. How can this possibly be? I was told that these two guys are, you know, they're supposed to be, you know, USA. No. They're definitely only in it for themselves. We catch these guys with their hands in the cookie jar in these ways. They're expensing these trips. And we're not supposed to think that that doesn't have some sort of influence on them. Oh, we're going to be charged, what, $800 and some odd thousand dollars? Over $800,000 charged on their one trip to Ukraine? That's almost $1 million. And we're supposed to think that some of that isn't winding back in their pockets? Of course it is. Thank you for the follow, Jobs Dead. I do appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, brother. Don't forget, if you haven't done it, make sure you smash the like, hit the repost, leave a comment, and also copy paste this on all of your social media. So go ahead and take a few moments and do that. And if you don't have the Red Rook, consider getting the Red Rook or buying a Red Rook to make sure we increase the Red Rook wall over here as we do over at Aaron. So here the question on everyone's mind: what justifies this astronomical expense in any way? Just to go over there and shake hands with Zelensky and get a photograph taken, you need to spend $800,000+. 800 plus? That's fucking bizarre. It's criminal. It's a violation of the Logan Act. No one's ever been prosecuted under the Logan Act that I know of. I know they tried to do that to Trump. I remember they brought that shit up. Or, you know, I know they tried to do that during the Trump administration the first time around. But it's just bizarre that these people are telling us that no, Ukraine's the good guys. They're the rebel alliance against the evil empire. Look, I don't like Ukraine or Russia, but I sure as fuck don't want them exchanging nuclear. I don't want a nuclear exchange happening because of this. It's just bizarre. And yeah, Darmack says very astutely, false valor Blumenthal. I agree. You know, I've served here. All the nonsense these people have put out there. So, you know, here's the expenses right here. Loomer Unleashed. You got Laura Loomer's been doing some deep dives into this as well. So she got tagged in this. We'll pull some of these things up here. Department of State, International Business Center. And then it's got, you know, the date. And then here it has the amount. Obligated amount. Really? $403,000. It's absolutely bizarre to me that more people aren't pissed off. Elon Musk exposed with Doge a lot of the graft and corruption just from USAID and other things. This stuff's still happening now. And what really pisses me off, that our government overspends on hookers and blow. That's so correct. That's so true. Yeah, well, for Lindsey Graham, it's like young boys instead of, you know, I guess. Can you really say that a 12-year-old is voluntarily being a prostitute? I'm just asking a question here. The question is, being asked, and the answer is no. 12-year-olds cannot consent, Lindsay. Allegedly. So they're telling us that you're evil and you're mean and you're white, you're supreme, and you drive a Tesla and you like to do the old Hitler salute and you got swastika eyes if you notice these things and complain about them, they say. While the real actual Nazis are out there posting crap on Twitter and X about how many times the Jews have been kicked out of countries and, and then going to Elon and saying, why are you censoring us and not censoring people? And it's so crazy. There are people that scream flat earth and sovereign citizenship, the people that get caught with flak jackets and gas masks and sniper, and 4 different ghost guns and sniper configuration with silencers and shit. 3-time convicted felons that get caught with it, with no driver's license, registration, flat earth, and sovereign citizen types. The kind of people that show up in Molotov cocktail, people who are peaceably, protesting for the release of hostages, those kind of people. We need to be paying attention to them because they're dangerous. But our government is equally dangerous. They're robbing us blind. And they're ignoring the real threats that are actually here. The threats to your body, I've been talking about it for years. The threats to you in your local area is worrisome. While we're being robbed from afar, don't forget they're also ginning up hatred towards people that speak out like me and say, hey, look, go get that guy. He's noticing the noticings. So here's more of the expenses here. It's just, we have the data. They have to release this stuff. This is stuff that's been exposed. And they just go over there and tell, yeah, Zelensky, here's that State Department, credit card. Let's just go and run out some charges. $411,000 on this one. And I'm like, this can't possibly be something that can be sustainable. If you're spending almost $1 million on just one trip to Ukraine, and that's probably per person, then how do you think that this is going to be tenable? How do you think this is going to be sustainable? You can't. And when I found out that everything Elon Musk did with Doge, apparently it's not going to be codified into law, they say, well, thank you for exposing all the grift, grafts, and corruption, but fuck you, we don't care. We're not going to do anything about it. We're going to just continue to allow things to continue going on as usual. Why is it business as usual? Why is that being allowed? How is it possible that we're not more upset about this? And Newt says, I guess the Holiday Inn was booked. I guess Motel 6 had too many people meeting up for a swingers party. With bed bugs and everything. Oh my God. But while Lindsey Grahamnesty was over there, sniffing the cocaine and little kids, while he was doing that, this was happening in Russia. Drones targeting their bombers, their nuclear bombers. And here's one of them. It says this is a Tu-95 nuclear bomber. Russia just had 47 of them. It's a 4-engine, can carry huge payloads. An FPV drone costs $40,000. It pauses and targets the fuel tank of the aircraft, successfully destroying it. They destroyed several. Here it is, a cheapo drone. Remember, this is even crazier than you think. There were trucks that were like pulled up, and then the roofs opened up, and these drones with AI flew out to go and target. There were Russians driving on top of the trucks trying to physically grab the drones. When you're blowing up, planes like this that are worth billions, and you're only using drones worth only a couple dozen thousand, $10,000 or $20,000, 40,000 peak. You're going to win numerically. This is the reason why Russia lost in Afghanistan, because we were supplying cheap, like Stinger missiles and things like that to shoot down like a $5 million airplane, or a $5 billion airplane in today's money. This is why they lost. And it looks like we may have another situation where Russia's going to be pushed into a corner where their home turf is being blown up, their home turf is being attacked, Moscow's being bombed and shelled right now. They're going to respond. And they're already saying that nuclear deterrent, nuclear strike is not off the table. They are escalating this the day before the peace talks. It's like the fat kid going out and pigging out at Golden Corral the day before he's supposed to go and have his stomach stapled. It's not going to help anything. So we got B Money Gaming. Good to see you, partner. Thank you for coming in on this morning. Normally I don't see you until the evening time shows, but it's good to see you here. You'll see B Money hanging out with us over with Cat Dog. Cat Dog is probably one of my favorite gaming streamers because he's spicy like me, doesn't give a fuck. He says the F word a whole hell of a lot, probably more than he should, and he plays a lot of different kind of video games. By the way, Dean also games as well. Dean has got a gaming show as well. Check out his We Are the Show Gaming. He's got that as well. Yeah, but B Money, good to see you, bud. I would love to. I'll be rating Cat Dog in the evening times, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll be rating Cat Dog. Cat Dog is he's just a cool dude. I like hanging out in his chat. And of course, I'm crazy. So I say crazy shit. Like I'm watching this show naked, and I'm usually not lying. I usually actually am watching his show. So here we go, moving on. You're like, TMI, Kang. It's never too much information. So Russia Pearl Harbor, this is from afar. This is when the drones have struck. Here's the airbase from far away. You can see all the planes that they just hit. All the nuke planes they just hit on fire and smoking. Yeah, this is not good. If this is their Pearl Harbor, what did we do after our Pearl Harbor? Oh, we nuked a mofo twice. We nuked a mofo twice. What do you think that Russia's going to do when they hold us responsible? Now, this is an open appeal. Please pray for peace. We need to sue for peace in any way we can. But if you have to nuke a few places, I got a small list. You can't say that, Kang. How dare you? It's so mean, sis. California. Seattle. New York, Washington, D.C., shut up, Kang! All right. They can get low-yield nuclear weapons. But besides, if they use hydrogen bombs, there'd be no radiation. You know, it'd just be like, you know. Unemployment solution. It'd be a big solution to the woke problem. But please, don't use nukes. We don't want to escalate this shit. We don't want to, and these are the drones that came from the Biden administration. It's Dakwa. Your screen names are so close. Dakwa, you are exactly right. You are precisely right. These are the same drones that were supplied to Ukraine by the Biden administration. Biden, his influence, the destruction of this country under the Biden regime still has these lasting residual ripple effects. And remember, Biden was operated like a puppet. You know, he had the headpiece and, you know, had the old game controller, you know, all right, Obama had that going on. That's what was going on. We know that was going on. Oh, by the way, speaking of gaming, Kang does gaming as well. So check out my show, check out my streams. I do pop-up gaming streams. I like to do gaming streams on Sundays because Sundays seem to be pretty popular for those. So check them out. I play all kinds of shit. I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, Doom, The Dark Ages. I try to pick out what's popular and I play. I like first-person shooters a lot, but I also do like some Diablo 2 Resurrected. I have that on the PC and also have it on the PlayStation. So play with me. But holy shit. You know, these Nintendo pilots that we had back in the 1990s that George Carlin talked about, you know, steering the big Predator drones. Now, we don't need a big drone like that to carry a payload. Small drones can just swarm over there with smaller explosives and do all the same amount of damage, and they're harder to shoot down, they're harder to see coming, they're harder to stop. They fly under the radar, they're almost completely undetectable. They're using it to kill Russian soldiers. They'll simply have these kamikaze drones that hover above them and taunt them for a while and then land on them and blow them up. They got a grenade taped to them. It's horrible what's going on. But this is all because of the Joseph Piss Pants Potato Biden regime. You know, and yeah, that's right. You're right, Dakwa. You're right. It's exactly. Joe Biden was still not able to follow orders. That's why he was shaking hands with ghosts and walking off the stage and falling up the stairs. And that's why he was doing that. I remember early, this is a little segue. Going to get a little segue. Early in the Joseph Piss Pants Potato Biden regime, we had him walking up to the White House and stopping and saluting the guards. He actually said out loud, "Stop and salute." He said that out loud. He wasn't talking to his wife. He was responding to the earbud that was in his ear. Because he had to be trained. Joey, stop repeating the words that you hear in the earpiece. Because I know people, it's very easy for people when they're trying to pay attention to multiple things. You repeat what you hear in your ear. It's a very common phenomenon. Try listening to someone talk to you while you're typing out something and you will write what they type. You will type out what they said. It's just people repeat the things that they hear. It's part of how our evolution has helped us develop survival skills. And the repeat thing is easy to understand how it works so effective. If you chant and repeat like free Palestine, it's catchy. People will do it. They'll walk around and follow the leader with the bullhorn going, we don't want America anymore. America. They'll do that because that's how cults work. They repeat narratives, and they repeat narratives. They keep chanting the same thing. It doesn't matter how wrong it is. It doesn't matter how much lies it's based on. It doesn't matter it's completely false. All that matters is that you repeat it. Trust me, I know what it's like having people repeat lie after lie after lie about you, and then it turns out that, oh yeah, you were right the whole time, King. They are lying. Come at me, bro. What is it like when Kang defeats people that come at him and try to what they do? This is usually what happens. Here we go. Yeah, that's usually what happens. It recently happened on X as well. It's like bing bong, ding dong bong, ching chong, fing wong. Epic. Watching people come at you with nonsense and you just like beat them down easily. It's just so fucking fun. I'm like, oh, come on, let's go. I'm going to crack my knuckles. Let's get started. I'm going to pull off the nunchucks next. But you need to have that same level of defense in your head. You need to have a little Bruce Lee right in your mind to fight off all of the nonsense, to fight off the Mockingbird media. Well, they constantly repeat certain phrases. Remember with J.D. Vance during the election cycle? He's slick, came off as slick. Hey, talk about slick. Here's Nellie, everybody. Say hi, Nellie. Nellie come to say hi to everybody. Nellie is the studio kitty cat. She's my sweetie, and she likes to stream. She's my stream cat. You'll see her up here a lot. So we like our kitty cats. Real men love their pussies. Let's just put it that way. Isn't that right? Snarl, what's up? Good to see you, Snarl. Good to see you, Snarl. Yeah, sexy some bitches. Good to see you. But yes, under the Biden regime, they said he was sharp. He was sharp as a tack. He was sharp. They kept using the word sharp. They kept telling you, Trump was bad. They kept chanting Orange Man bad, and the NPC meme became a reality under that. They do the same thing, and then they're going to sit there and say the same thing that, oh, Ukraine is the rebels, the good guys, to make you believe it. It's nonsense. You need to have that mental fortitude, just like Bruce. You need to have that mental fortitude to be able to fight off this stuff. And it's necessary. It's a necessary thing. It's a necessary skill that you have to actually acquire. And many people just simply refuse. They refuse. It's easier to go along with the herd. Well, then you wind up getting the ass beat by, the mental kung fu of Kang and other people like that. Kang derangement syndrome is real. Find a cure. Yeah. And mini ball's like, there's no Palestine. So fucking true. Yeah, Snarl's like, Nelly. That's right. Nelly. She heard you, Snarl. When I said Nelly for you, she's like, what? She's coming back over. So she's definitely a daddy's girl. Oh, moving on. So it's breaking here. It says Russia. He calls for emergency security council meeting, and he says possible nuclear strikes in the coming hours. Well, let's pray for peace. Let's sue for peace. Let's do what we can for peace. When you don't do that, you wind up with the sun coming out at 3 o'clock in the morning. We don't want that here. We don't want that in Russia. I don't want that for Ukraine. As much as I despise Zelensky, as much as I fear Putin, I don't want them killing each other. I think the best way to really deal with this, actually, to save the world from this, is to take Putin and Zelensky, drop them in a cage match, and just throw a couple of fucking shivs in there. A couple of pieces of metal with like some tape wrapped around the bottom and say, deal with each other. And then whoever comes out, comes out. That's how it works. People are producing this nonsense. Oh, he's trying to bring back the USSR. He pines away for Soviet Russia. That did not work out for Russia. Look what happened in Afghanistan. It caused the collapse of the Soviet Union. It caused the collapse of it. We brought down the Berlin Wall. The whole thing happened because of pinprick attacks from small rebel forces over in Afghanistan. We need to do the best we possibly can to de-escalate these things, because this guy has got nuclear weapons he said he will use. He's already said this. And now apparently he put his nuclear bombers on high alert. NATO just supplied Ukraine with the means to attack this guy's nuclear arsenal what do you think he's going to do? He's going to use it before he doesn't have it. He's going to use it before he loses it. This may not be something that you're willing to accept or acknowledge, but it's the facts. It's the absolute facts. And we need to be mindful of this. We need to be mindful of this, and we need to be praying right now. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a man of the cloth. You know, I'm not any of those kind of guys. I'm not there and tell you, well, this is what Jesus meant. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a believer, but I believe, my relationship with God is my personal relationship with God. Okay, I'm not ever going to tell you what to think. I don't care if you're an atheist, a Satanist, a pagan. I don't give two fucks. If you can take good information and possibly lead you to any kind of possible truth, fine. If not, Cocteau, good to see you, brother. It's really an honor to have you in the chat. You'll see Cocteau over there. I think he's still modding for Jeremy of the Quartering. I hang out there as well. Good to see you, Cocteau. Yeah, good to see you, brother man. And if you guys look, if you got an opportunity to do some gift subs, by all means, gift subs. If you don't want to have to pay that monthly for yourself, the easiest way to go about it is just to do a gift sub where you spend $5, you help someone else out to enjoy the benefits. We'll get that Red Rook wall up again. But hell yeah. I mean, we need to start understanding that we can still give good information to people that have a head full of bad noise and hopefully get them out of that position. I'm hoping to get people to start understanding that this escalation is so unnecessary. This escalation, it is the thing that's going to end the world. And Putin, if they say he's crazy, and if it's true he's crazy, well then what makes you think he's gonna stop? What makes you think he wouldn't just hit the fucking button and says, fuck it, if these people are going to take me out, fuck everyone else? Of course he would do that. If he's that crazy, if he's really crazy Ivan, like they claim he is, what makes you think poking the fucking nuclear Russian bear makes any sense? Stop poking the bear. I mean, I try to get people to understand this, but they're just like, come on, man. Come on, let's do some war. I was like, no, let's not do some more. This is a really, really bad idea. This is an extremely bad idea. What happens if we have nuclear war? It's what?
Game over, man. It's game over.
For everybody. For everybody. Not just Ukraine. This isn't some conflict that's going to stay over there. If it becomes nuclear, it comes to your town. And there's no escape. Why else do you think our government's been putting out again more PSAs in New York City about how to deal with a nuclear bomb? Just walk outside and get vaporized. That's the best thing that you can do. It's quick. It's painless. You're done. You're over with. It's done in a fraction of a second. Versus dealing with the fallout. If the bomb hits the ground, it causes fallout. If the bomb explodes above the city, it destroys more of the area, it causes less radiation. In about 3 months, there's no more radiation. We're not talking Hiroshima and Nagasaki anymore. We're talking about a one missile that comes in, the warhead expands and explodes and blows up into a bunch of different warheads, and it's like a dozen warheads hitting an area, all with like blast radius of 20 miles each. This is not a good thing. We need to be prepared for this. This is the stuff that we were afraid of back in the 1980s. I'm a kid from the 1970s, grew up in the 80s, became a young man in the 90s. I know what this is like. This shit's fucking terrifying. But they're trying to diminish the effect of nuclear war by putting out these PSAs that using duct tape to seal your house up. If you go outside, take a shower immediately, get the thyroid medicine, go get the fuck out of here. You're done. You're done. And when the winds blow, because they do blow, they're going to blow radiation to everywhere else that didn't get hit by the bomb, and you die of a slower death. Radiation sickness is a horrible, slow, agonizing zombification. It's terrifying. There was a movie that hit in the 1980s. It was The Day After. Jason Robards was in it. Steve Guttenberg was in it before he was a star. Before the Illuminati made him a big star with Cocoon and Police Academy. And it showed the actual effects of what it would be like. It terrified the country into pressuring our government into actually de-escalating nuclear arms races, to actually shut that down and bring it down. But when we do this, we need to bring that back. We need to have The Day After be played again and all day long, 24/7 on every radio and every TV channel. Have the radio play of it, have the TV stations play it. Every cable, every streaming service replaces everything with The Day After to remind people of what that shit was like. That shit scared the entire nation. It was almost as bad as when they scared Jaws. Jaws scared the nation into going out and killing sharks indiscriminately, which was awful as well. I'm a big shark lover. I love sharks. I think they're fantastic. Scared of them in little ways, but still at the same time, you can be afraid of a thing but still love a thing. You can understand a thing but still respect it. It's got mad raw power. Yes, sharks can make you into a statistic or put your face on a fucking milk cart. It is true. It's true. But you know what else can put you on a milk carton that no one's going to care about because the milk carton itself is vapor? Is nuclear war. I'm more afraid of nuclear war than I am afraid of sharks. I'm just saying. I don't scare easy, but this is fucking frightening. This is fucking frightening. Let's de-escalate this shit. Let's de-escalate shit. So this is the retaliation, supposedly. 7 Ukrainian air bases were destroyed. Here is, you can actually see the missiles coming in.
Ебать, это 4-я нахуй! 5-я, блядь!
Now, they're saying here that this video, it says per Grok, it says this video likely shows Ukraine's June 1st, 2025 drone attacks on Russian air bases, not Russian strikes. So, what we're seeing is more escalation. Either way the missiles are flying, it doesn't really matter to me. We got World War III has started, Russian bomber fleet, we got here.
Repair and longevity.
Peter Santilli, I don't really know much about him, but apparently he says, it's weird when you put these long names, you can't actually read them. But Peter Santilli says World War III has officially started. This is something that we didn't expect, you know. But this video, according to Grok, actually shows Russia being attacked, not the other way around. This escalation is not necessary. We don't need this. Minnie, it's good to see you back. And Russ comes in and says, nuclear sharks. It's my shark, sharky shark, shark. He's like, play the fucking clip, Kang. Sharky shark. That's so fucking bad. So yeah, Grok is a great way to determine if something is real now. Now, whenever I see something, I just ask Grok. There's a Grok button right here on all posts. You can click on it and say, tell me more about this. So Grok has become integrated so well. Now I can verify stuff. Even stuff I don't want to find out about people that I like, I still actually find it out. Grok is replacing Google search. It's replacing all AI for information gathering. It's replacing the search engine. And I'm actually glad to see that because, you know, it's easier to use. I'm not saying that Grok is trustworthy. I don't trust anything that's controlled by something that's not me. But then at the same time, I am probably not the person that you should want be in control of AI systems either. People are messy. People are violent. People are stupid. 67% of people, according to the Milgram experiment, will give you a lethal dose of electricity because someone told you to. 67% of people, also the average, do not have inner monologue. They found only about 30% of people have inner monologue. They also found that the other 70% of people, or the same amount of people roughly, that will also kill you if the government said it was okay to do. That's the reality. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Snarl. Grok's going to be running for office. We're voting for Grok for president in 2028. So what's not a laughing matter, I try to keep up with the chat as best I can. You guys are going off today. You guys are strong in the chat today. I appreciate all of you guys. This is smash the like, smash the follow, hit the repost, leave the comment, do all the things, become a subscriber or buy a gift sub for someone else to help support the show, help support my producer and head mod, Mr. Newt. You'll see Newt over with me and AP Unfiltered and a few other places. But right here, Jim Ferguson says, breaking, Russia places nuclear forces on high alert. Unconfirmed, but mounting reports indicate the Orishnik and Russia's strategic nuclear arsenal has been placed on high readiness following Ukrainian strikes. And apparently there are retaliations. Says strategic silos and mobile units are being activated. Command posts linked to Russia's nuclear response chain are now in elevated status. This is not good. The nuclear shadow has returned. We need to understand why this is bad for everybody. When you've got Greta Thunberg, the little doom goblin supreme, running around telling everybody that, oh, the whole planet is going to be destroyed. You're going to finna destroy the Earth. I hear smoke alarms in the background because clearly you're a person with a room temperature IQ. Isn't that right, Thunberg? Yeah. Global warming, they said, was going to kill us. No. Instant global warming, aka nuclear holocaust. That's what's going to kill us, everybody. Not a very slow 1% or 1 degree increase over 100 years. That's not going to kill us, bitch. Trust me, we can simply walk around in shorts. Even though shorts are fake and gay. Even they are fake and gay. I'm just saying.
Bruh.
Okay. I'm off the shorts. I'm off the shorts. Oh my God. This is so fucking stupid. We got to laugh at this some way, somehow. We've got to de-escalate it in our minds. We can't be stuck in the doom scroll all the time. That's why my show schedule is very simple. It's 9 o'clock on Mondays and Fridays in the morning, 9 a.m. Mondays and Fridays, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Come and hang out. Thursdays, we do Thursday Thunderdome. If you need to decompress, if you're tired of the doom scrolling, and if we're still here Thursday, fine. You come back Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I have a request line that's open. It's $5 minimum to get in on a request. You can do a rant, or you can buy a gift sub. It gets you. You'll be able to drop a link, and I'll play with you. I have a bunch of music set up, but I'll play what you drop if you donate one way or another. You'll see people in here. We have a great time. It helps you blow off steam. It's a 3-hour show, everybody. A 3-hour show, and we'll have a great time. We always have a good time. Come and rock and de-stress. Look, by the time 7:30 comes in the evening time, you've already heard the news for the day. You've already heard it 5, 6, 7, 8 times. What's the point of continuing to watch news shows? Okay. What's the point? Every single day like that. There's a couple news shows I definitely recommend you tune in. The Thursday and the Sunday, especially the Sunday for Dean. Check out. He does like 7, 8, 9, 20. I mean, I don't know how long you do. He does like 6 or 7 different times. He'll do 6 or 7 different hours of it. So there's plenty to cover there, but he doesn't just cover national stories. He covers local stories too. The things that you miss with the doom scroll. Just saying. Things you miss. The ultimate doom scroll is looking at World War III coming our way. Yeah. Right here, breaking, as I said in the stinger earlier, it says CIA Director John Ratcliffe drops a bombshell confirming that Senator Adam Schiff orchestrated a shady plot with whistleblower Eric Ciaramella to impeach Trump. Remember they said if you said Ciaramella, remember they said if you said the word Ciaramella, if you let the syllables come out of your mouth, Ciaramella, then they would kick you off of Facebook, kick you off of Twitter. Remember that shit? They'd ban you for life for saying this guy's last name. Now you can, because now it came out it was true. Here we go.
I can tell you one thing that we've learned very clearly, and that is that the Inspector General for the intelligence community can provide no information about the contacts between the Hipsy majority and the whistleblower prior to his involvement. So the only way that we'll be able to get that information is from the Hipsy majority themselves. They are fact witnesses in the same investigation that they are now running. Nowhere else in the United States of America can you be both a fact witness and the prosecutor or investigation in anything, much less an investigation to remove a president from office. It's entirely inappropriate, and Chairman Schiff should be disqualified from running an investigation where his committee, members or staff, are fact witnesses about contact with the whistleblower and the whistleblower process.
No shit. Not only should he be removed from the possibility of ever doing this ever again, he should be removed from office and sent to Gitmo. There should be a lineup of little black boys that he should have to point the photographs to, and then he should have to let you know where the methane pockets are at. Allegedly. Apparently, Anthony Bourdain met his end, allegedly, because he saw Adam Schiff coming out of a hotel room with the corpse of a young black child. Like I said, he likes them young and brown. Allegedly, that's what I hear. Please, Hillary Clinton, don't come after me. Don't Epstein me. He definitely did not kill himself, by the way. I mean, contrary to what certain popular people have said, he definitely did not kill himself. Oh, yeah, we'll move on. Anthony Bourdain didn't kill himself either, neither did Chris Cornell and a few others. Dave Mustaine of Megadeth recently came out, and he says he believes that the reason why Chris Cornell was found suicidal because he was making a video about the child trafficking that he was seeing in Hollywood and the record industry. So... So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I think we're far enough in on YouTube to be able to get by with this. Here is the fella that was screaming Ollie at the snack bar, screaming free Palestine. And he Molotov cocktailed a bunch of elderly Jews outside of Colorado who were actually just going on a peaceful walk to raise awareness, try to get more exposure on the story of these Jews in Israel that are still being held captive now. The October 7th, these people are still being held captive now. And they just were peacefully marching. They weren't rampaging through the streets acting like Antifa. They didn't show up at a Christian rally and attack them. All the Jew haters out there, they're like, it's the Jews, blah, blah, blah. Really? They look like more of a victim group to me. I'm not saying you can't criticize people that happen to be Jewish. I do all the time. Because I don't give a fuck about your Jewishness. I give a fuck about what you did personally. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, or flying purple people eater. If you did something wrong, I want to expose it. I'm never going to say because he was a Jew or a black or whatever he did. No, I'm going to say this guy's a fucking savage. He's a fucking monster. Get rid of this person. Remove them from society, and no one gets privilege. I don't think speech laws should apply. I think you should be able to criticize anybody. But when you openly say openly anti-Semitic things, for the sake of saying anti-Semitic things like, kicked out of 109 countries, who do you think that was? And you're posting that shit on X, and then you're reposting it, but then claiming you're not an anti-Semite, even though you post anti-Semitic tropes. It's just kind of weird. It's like saying you're gay, but your boyfriend's not. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. And I know it's Pride Month. No, I don't call it that. I call it Lust Month, Sodom and Gomorrah Month, Pillar of Salt Month. Why? I'm a sexual libertarian. You do you in your bedroom with who you want to, as long as they're an adult, consenting adult. No kids, no animals, no people that can't consent, people that are on drugs or people that are mentally unfit. Yeah. You do you, but you keep it in your bedroom. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see you riding around on bicycles in front of kids with your fucking thongs on, jiggling your jiggly bits in front of kids. Why are there kids at these things? Arrest everyone that brought a child to a gay pride parade. Great, you were born gay. You told me, okay, you being born gay, you didn't have any choice over that. It's like I didn't choose to be born a straight, white male. A masculine, hairy, large, strong, hairy white male. It's not my fault I enjoy deadlifts. It's not my fault I enjoy pull-ups and bench presses and back squats. It's not my fault. I was born this way. Being fit and healthy is bad for your health. It makes other people's mental health get like all frazzled. Kang, stop being evil. Who white? It's supreme. No, I'm not. I'm none of those things. I'm just who white. But the same mentality that drives people to go and throw Molotov cocktails on Jews, but the same mentality that says, I'm going to chop my dick off and be a girl. It's the same poison. It's the intersectionality I'm seeing that from the left has now infected the right. Muslims are very conservative. They're not liberal at all. Muslims would be qualified as on the extreme right. Muslims would be qualified as the extreme conservative, and it's weird. Just a little weird. That all the lefties are like, gays for Palestine. It's like chickens for KFC. It's so ridiculous. Some cultures are not equal. Some cultures are not compatible. I mean, equal to what? Equal to what our civilizational standards are. The West has brought the most amount of stability and peace and progress to the world. You cannot like that. All that English colonization did in fact increase the living standards and improve the living standards and life expectancy and education levels of everybody that they colonized. Whether or not they had oppressive measures after the fact, you can then explain that, okay, well then we need to not do that ever again. We can have equal rights and no segregation. We can completely do that. But we also need equal fucking responsibility. And just because this guy is brown, and just because he's overstayed his visa, making him an illegal immigrant, doesn't mean that he gets special protections. The left will make excuses because it turns out, even though he overstayed his visa, making him an illegal immigrant, therefore, they will champion him. Therefore, he is their guy. Therefore, he's their hero. And then he attacked the Jews, which, the left hates as well. Therefore, bigger. He's like... He's basically like the Mangione kid. I guarantee you there are lefties at home flicking their callous bean to this man right now because he actually burned up my Jews. I'm telling you flat out. I'm telling you, Rainbow Month may only be, I know that God had the rainbow after flooding the earth. He won't flood the earth again, he said. He's going to destroy the earth by fire this time around. nuclear fire, everybody. So I'm just telling you, I wonder if you see like a radiation rainbow. Is that possible? Maybe we'll have a radiation rainbow month this month. Let's hopefully don't have that. I think it's just as destructive to your society to have a nuclear bomb hit your city and also have a gay pride march. I think they have the same destructive level of destruction on your society, on your mentality, on the health of your country, on the health of your children. And why is it that they're pushing this shit on children? Younger and younger people are going to be brought into this cult that we're seeing here, this intersectional cult. What if this guy turns out that, oh, he's gay? He's my gay. What if that happens? So I got Newt telling me, hey, I got 15 minutes left. Hey. Producer Newt, like he does to Aaron all the time. He's like, fuck, we wasted 20 minutes on that. And Newt's like, hey, guys. Oh, it's so good. We run, this is independent shows. We need your support. If you're in the chat and you can hear me, we need your support. Hit the follow, hit the subscribe, share a subscription, share this out, hit the repost. If all you can afford is hitting repost or copy, pasting the link and putting on your social medias, you do that. If you've had a good time tonight and I've earned your follow and I've earned your subscription, I've earned just your comment maybe in the comment section, I've earned your thumbs up, I've earned your repost or reshare, if that's all you can do, then please do that. Show me that in the chat. It'll be GG in the chat if you've had a good time today. GG in the chat if you've got good information. It was kind of dark, but I wrap it in that woolly cotton candy of comedy to hopefully make it easier to swallow. GG in the chat if you've enjoyed the show today. It means a lot. I need feedback from y'all. Feedback helps me know where to go. Because this is our show. Me with no audience, there's no point. I don't need to stream. This is not an income for me. I'm not someone that's trying to make this my income. I am very, very comfortable and happy in my real life. I'm actually putting all of that at a detriment coming to stream because when people see you say things they don't like, you get controversial. Like poop is poop. I played that the other day. It's true, Russ. When I say poop is poop, and I say that this guy here should never been in the country, and I say these people should have been armed and should have pew-pewed this guy, when I say there's people out there on the left and the right that are screaming, Uber Jews, kill them, and I'm taking a risk. I'm getting attacked by people that supposedly are on the right. I'm getting attacked by people that are on the far left too. It's risky. I don't need to do this, but I do this because I feel compelled. I want to make the world a better place. And sometimes we have to prune our garden. And I like to also bring it to you with my style. My style is not like, I don't do the pastor thing. I don't do the newsman thing. I do the crazy clown. I'm the crown clown. But I'm right. Say what you want. I'm okay saying the things that you haven't said or saying the things you're thinking. I'm okay doing that. I'll take the slings and arrows. I need your support and I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Cocteau, thank you for being here as well, man. But we get really dark on this show sometimes, but we have to always come above ground. Just like Plato's cave. I'm trying to make sure that none of you are shackled to the wall thinking that the shadows is all that exists. We got the sunlight to go to. So you saw this over on Aaron's. You saw this here as well. You saw this, what this guy did. He should have been pew-pewed. The fact that he set himself on fire, was just a little icing on the cake. I wish he had gone up like a full torch and they couldn't save him. I think if he set himself on fire and it was raging out of control, I think they should have stood around and watched him burn, not actually put the fire out. But apparently here is the leftists who are trying to justify it, the same people that he's wearing this Khalitha or whatever the fuck they call that thing. Here's another free Palestine retard. Here we go.
It is super important.
From Dinesh D'Souza. Give him credit. Dinesh D'Souza. I follow him over on X. Here we go.
It is super important that we don't jump to conclusions about the man who was throwing Molotov cocktails at the Jews in Boulder today, okay? Just because his name is Muhammad does not mean that he's a Muslim or practices Islam or anything like that, okay? We don't know what his motivation was. It was probably completely unrelated. It's probably just a coincidence. And it's important that we do not resort to Islamophobia right now, okay? Let's be better than that. It is super...
So even if this is a parody, it's still what the left thinks. Okay, gonna hit Grok. See what it says. All I did is hit Grok and it's analyzing this. Now this says this is satirical. It's possibly a parody by a progressive activist argues against jumping to conclusions. Okay, it's a parody, they're saying, but the reality of the situation is very simple. I don't care that this is a parody. This is the way the left thinks, because look at all the people that out there and said that Carmelo Anthony was defending himself when he stabbed Carmelo Anthony when he stabbed Austin Metcalf. Those were real, actual people screaming for the death of who? White people, and celebrating the death of that white kid. There were actual leftists out there that actually think this. I'm surprised that Dinesh didn't actually just hit the button. It took me one button click to tell me determine that this was actually a parody. That's why I said I don't care if it is. The FBI has already designated it as an act of terrorism. Dinesh, you're being a boomer. One button click right there. I clicked that one button and it gave me all the information about it that I really needed to know. But the point still stands. Burn like an Egyptian. That's fucking spicy. So fucking spicy. We actually had to make this emoji right here. She's an Egyptian man. Like an Egyptian. The walk like Egyptian emoji right here. Yeah, but even though this is a parody, the point still holds. There are leftists out there that'll be out there going, oh my God, this is Mangione all over again. I'm so moist. So disgusting. Oh, so another one here. At a certain point, this has to be classified as a terrorist movement. It says here, they said the point was the guy was yelling, free, free, free Palestine next to two people out in front of a Jewish museum in D.C., and others still in denial that deadly abuse has been unleashed. Michigan Muslim pleads guilty in a plot to open fire and kill Jewish preschoolers in daycare in a synagogue. From Pamela Geller. People can talk about the controlled media all they like. They are losing their grip on control, and that's why they hate shows like this show. That's why they hate me coming here and talking on this microphone and pushing back. I push back on people on the left and the right and the center. I get pushed back on as well, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes it means I got to take corrective actions for me. Other times I have to explain myself better. I'm okay with conflict. I thrive on it. We do too. That's why all of you are here, because you thrive on the friction. You thrive on it. All of us are addicted to social media and the little doom scroll, one direction or another. One metric is getting doom scroll about all the evil white supreme cops that are gunning down innocent, unoffensive, never did nothing wrong dindus who didn't have a gun, didn't have a knife, didn't have a brick. They may be armed with a car, maybe, and they're, oh my God, tragic, unarmed black people killed by cops. They found it was 9 1 year. 9. When they asked the average white leftist how many black people are killed, unarmed black people are killed every single year by the cops, 10,000, because their doom scroll is feeding them the algorithm that says evil white supremacist cops are hunting down black people. We also fall victim to the same thing. It's going to show you black crime and all that kind of crap. That's why else do you think the black fatigue meme became a reality? Why else do you think that became a phrase that average regular people would say? White Supremes have been saying it for a long time. Their language is starting to seep into our colloquial speak. It's starting to seep in. Pay attention. You see people putting 14 and 88 and shit in chats and HH in the chats. There are people out there like Russ that mock it. We make fun of Nazis all the time. Me and Russ love making fun of Nazis. Me and Astro go after them on Gab and mock them until they block us or go private. I love making Nazis cry. Making a Nazi cry is the same as making a troon cry. Who's trying to trans your kid? It's the same level of joy. I don't care for the extremists. I'm anti-authoritarian. I don't want to be told what to do by a Sieg Heilig 1488. That's the same thing. I don't want to be told what to do by a troon that says cut your kid's dick off. Fuck you. I wasn't born with enough middle fingers. I don't need to choose a side. I'm still Kang. I want everyone to be a little bit of a Kang too. And yeah, I'm making fun of that old racist meme, Weems was Kang. I'm making fun of it because I'm a legit African American. So, I will hit you with the dark stuff. It's okay. I'll also pull you back out to light. Plato's Cave is a real thing. A lot of us are still in Plato's Caves on one thing or another. It's not just a one demographic of people. Trust me, it's a lot more than that. From I meme, therefore I am, here's another story, breaking. So maybe the last story we're going to cover today, but as serious as a mass stabbing incident in the Union Gospel Mission men's shelter in Salem, Oregon just happened. 11 people have been stabbed. Like I said, there are local threats to you, real threats to you. It's not just nuclear bombs. It's not just nuclear bombs. That's not the only thing to worry about. Don't worry about nuclear bombs because it's going to be one. So don't worry about asteroids or meteors hitting the planet because it'll be so over so quick you won't even know about it. Don't worry about the nuclear war. I am worried about it, but I don't want you to be, oh my God, a bomb shelter. I don't want you out in the backyard digging furiously, trying to dig deep enough to get away from it. Just de-escalate, but live a good life. Whatever deity you believe in or not, I don't care if you're a teleological atheist. You believe there's an intelligence in the universe, except for certain parts of New Jersey. I mean, it's fine. It's a Woody Allen joke, by the way. Woody Allen. He's a pedo. Yeah, I know. He's a little pederast, isn't he? Yeah. Married that Sungi. Oh my God. Elliot is a Jew, too. Don't you see a pattern? No, I see plenty of pedos out there that ain't Jews. Just saying. Just saying. Watching Joe Biden kitty sniff. By the way, this is cocaine bear piss, everybody. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. I have the most delicious, nutritious, and, well, it's not really nutritious or delicious. Cocaine Bear Piss, they promote the show.
Red Pill Fight Club is proudly sponsored by Cocaine Bear Piss. We produce and ship only the most royal class of products. We work with only the finest hosts to advertise our kingly line of merchandise. Style matters, you motherfuckers.
Style does matter, you motherfuckers. Because I'm a Kang, you're a Kang, everybody wants to be a Kang. Don't you want to be a Kang? Do. Drink the Cocaine Bear Piss. Drink the cocaine, drink the Cocaine Bear Piss. Cocaine Bear Piss contains no cocaine, no bear, no piss. Style does matter, motherfuckers. It is a fictitious drink. Stop sending me DMs about where can I buy Cocaine Bear Piss. Fuck it. I'm going to start just sending out, guys, bottles of Kirkland brand water for $17.76. $4.95 shipping it. The P.O. Box, Washington. I'll do that. Out there on the West Coast, out there on the left coast in Oregon, we got stabbings going on right here. So the suspect, who looks like he's naked, is being arrested. Let's hit Grok. Tell me what you know about this. It says here, this documents a mass stabbing incident that did in fact happen at the Union Gospel Mission for Men shelter. 11 people were hospitalized. It highlights the vulnerable of the homeless population to violence. Yeah, it's true. Wow. It happened on June 1st at 7:15. So it happened yesterday at 7:15 p.m. And this is the guy that did it.
That's right, man, you're going in. Fuck this guy up. Back up.
Somebody's pissed off who wants to go and fuck this guy up because this guy went on a stabbing rampage. Oh, God. This guy went on a stabbing rampage, and this dude's walking out saying, let's fuck this guy up, and the cops have to tell him to back off. I love the energons, man. The cops should have said, all right, we'll look away and you take a few whacks.
Back up now.
Look how graceful these cops are handling. They didn't shoot the guy that come over there. That guy looked like he had something that had a point at the bottom. Looks like he was going to stab this guy and beat this guy with this medieval style weapon he had crafted or found. You know, I don't know if he showed up at a cosplay. It looks like a sign or something. Watch. So they got the guy on the ground. They got the two cops on the guy. Then from the right hand side of the screen, this guy comes walking up with like some makeshift weapon in his hand, like a sign or something he found, to go and bludgeon or stab the guy.
Back up now.
He's got a crutch. It looks like it's a crutch. Yeah, it's a crutch. You pull a rubber boot off a crutch. It's got that metal circle. You can actually stab somebody to death with one of those things. Yeah, like no shit. He's walking over. He says, fuck that guy up. Yeah, this guy apparently witnessed the stabbing. Oh no, this cop walks over and kneels on the guy's neck. He'll be the next George Floyd says. Yeah. But yeah, apparently, yeah, it's sad. It's a black fella that went on the stabbing rampage, probably stabbing other black people. And then the dude that come walking over, let's see here. Looks like a black dude, you know. Looks like he's got a veteran's cap on. Yeah, looks like a veteran's cap. He's probably some guy that works at the shelter. He's got a crutch. Maybe he picked it up from one of the guys that got stabbed that was on a crutch. Who knows? Who knows? We got so many people watching. I don't want to stop streaming. I don't want to stop going. I want to keep going, but I do have to wrap up the show. This is so hard. It's such sweet parting. We ran over time a little bit, but I got so many people here chilling and chatting and so many people hanging out. And I'm really blessed just to have everybody here to come out and have a great time. I want to thank you all so very much because I do actually have to get to a phone call. I do got a meeting right after the show. We do got to do it. Just letting you know, hey, look, avoid the mind virus, even if it comes from Sesame Street.
A protest is when people come together to show they are upset and
and burn the city down. So apparently it's the last thing. This is the truly last thing I'm going to talk about today. Libs of TikTok put it out. It says, parents beware, Sesame Street is grooming your kids. Sesame Street is grooming your kids. The show is aimed at toddlers, and what do they promote? COVID vaccines, BLM protests, transgender kids, Pride Month, LGBTQ propaganda, and grooming. This is what they're doing with this. Remember, Sesame Street, for those of you who don't know, was actually created as a Black Power show. The Black Panthers were prominently involved. Jim Henson wanted it to actually be a Black liberation, Black Power, Black communist show. Like, no shit. That's the truth. Look that up. Google that shit. That's how it was going to start, but people didn't like it because it was so it was so anti-white that they were like, no, this is they're not going to piss off the majority of America to promote your Black Power, revolutionary, communist, Black Power, Black Fist, Black Panther shit. No. So they changed it for just a show for everybody. That's why the cast was really diverse. We kids from the 1970s grew up with diverse cast of characters. We didn't feel racial hatred towards anybody. The Big Bird sung a song about no matter what your language, no matter what your name, the things people say is all the same. Talked about how to say naughties for nose. They had all the different people in the neighborhood. Who are the people in your neighborhood? They had all this shit. It showed you that, it was like a little mini New York City that they pretty much, had recreated on the show. So why do we expect it to be any different when now it was woke when it first started, then went to mainstream normal. Now it's extreme woke. So they're talking about protests is when you go out and burn and loot,
disagree about something. They want to make others aware of the problem. Yeah, I'm bringing this sign to the protest at the community center later.
Love, justice, and peace. That sounds fine, but usually that sign says no justice, no peace. Usually that sign says, no border, no wall, no KKK at all. Usually the signs, the people that actually are putting this on, telling kids to do this, there's usually the people that are out there telling you that you need to burn everything down.
They look upset. People are upset because racism is a huge problem in our country.
Oh, no. Yes, it is.
We all love and respect one another.
No, you're not. You are not going out on the street and saying love and respect. You're going out on the streets and you're burning, looting, robbing, raping, and killing. That's what you're doing. You're doing that. That's what's going on. Pay attention. And we are all paying attention. So here they're promoting it because, racism is a big problem. And I mostly see racism coming from the Black community towards the white community. And I see some white towards the Black community. I see some Black and white towards the Jews. And I see left and right towards the Jews too. I see it. They're not wrong. It's just that the actual victims of real racism tend to not look like the people they claim that they look like. Trayvon Martin was not racially profiled. He was shot by a Peruvian man. And he was half Jewish. Zimmerman, come on, man. Yeah. That was a brown on black crime. Turns out it wasn't even a crime. It was self-defense. That was real self-defense. But look at the Carmelo Anthony case and the Shiloh Hendricks case. Those two things to show you precisely where America's at in racial relations. It's not good. I tried to de-escalate that shit. Say, look, all we're brothers and cousins. We've been married for 400 years. Tough shit. Deal with it. Live with each other. But there's some side is getting their brains filled with this nonsense, and their kids are getting filled with it. This is directed towards children to get children to grow up to be evil and racist against anyone that they decide they can be evil and racist too.
Across the country, people of color, especially in the Black community, are being treated unfairly.
How? So you have yet to show a single example of it really truly being treated unfairly because they were Black.
Because of how they look, their culture, race.
Well, but the culture, yes. Let's make an argument. Yeah, you show up and your culture is to say, F you, teacher. I'm going to rape you. I'm going to flash my gun, flash my money at you, flash my drugs that you can't say nothing. You know that happened here in South Carolina. We had a teacher that actually was repeatedly assaulted and accosted by the black students in her class. They threatened to rape her. They flashed guns at her. They flashed drugs at her. They flashed their money wads at her and said, you can't do shit. They called her an evil white bitch. They called her a white supremacist and all the other shit too. They called her a Nazi. She went and complained to the school board and they said, nah, we're just going to fire you. She sued the school board for terminating her. And know what they said to her? Trying to justify these kids' actions. Them threatening to kill you and rape you and calling you white this and flashing guns and drugs and shit in class and saying you can't do nothing. Oh, that's their culture. That's what the black superintendent of schools here said to that white teacher, said, you need to put up with it because it's their culture. If I was a black parent, I would be so pissed off. It's like you telling me that a bunch of white kids in school start racially abusing some Jewish teacher or a black teacher, Sieg heiling and flashing swastikas and shit. And you told me, oh, well, your son was in the same class, even though he didn't participate, but we know it's their culture, your culture. Who, white man? I'm like, no, I'd be pissed off. And so should you. Don't play the racism game because when it circles back on you, you know how it feels. They're trying to propagandize children, trying to ruin their brains. And the sooner they can get to the kids, the worse they have this whole, like, I want to cut my dick off, give me a dick roll up, sew it to me, zipper tits, that whole thing. The whole thing comes out next. And I told you, it's like it's on purpose, because it is. They first tell you don't have kids. It's evil and white supreme to have kids because you're there to perpetuate climate change. Then they tell you that, if you do have kids, if you decide to actually have a baby, abort it. And then if you don't do that, then you do have a kid, then you need to transit after that. So they first tell you don't have kids, don't get married, become a dink, dual income, no kids. Or if you do, make sure that child isn't white. Or if that child is black, abort them too because, they're racist towards blacks as well. It's bizarre. It's almost like it's a plan. It's almost like a multi-stage plan to keep people from reproducing here in the West. And I know it's dark. I know I get a little dark here. But protect yourself from it. That's the last section of the show. Fringe, good to see you, Real Fringe, coming in. I want to say good day, God bless. I've ran way over time today. Had a great time with all of you guys here tonight, today. It's always night and day. It's always up and down. So we're going to go and roll out with that stinger, everybody. I'll be back again. Tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, coming for Taco Tuesday. Take care, y'all. God bless.
To the club where shadows play, where the Reaper horde steps in the fray. Kang's the name, I run this game. Laughs and truth, they're one and the same. Red pills will flow like rivers tonight. Comedy cut sharp while we ignite. Games and beats, the room will shake. You came for the truth, now stay wide awake. With riddles but realer than real, breaking down walls that they try to conceal. Fists in the air, let it all roar. This is the fight you've been waiting for. Red pills will flow like rivers tonight. Comedy cut sharp while we ignite. Games and beats, the room will shake. You came for the truth, now stay. Music booms, the horde aligns. Question it all, we're breaking confines. Laughter and heat, on this we thrive. In this fight rides in the mic in my hand. Truth is our weapon, we make a stand. Leave your mask, bring your soul. This is the place where you lose control.